Hey, what's up YouTube? So here I'm building box stairs to go over some considerations on what you're going to need to do. Um, I have 16-inch total rise. You'll need to figure out your total rise by your finished height of your deck, which mine's right at 16 and a half once I add in my inch deck board. The way I set up my 6x6 post, I notched 1.5 inches so they had set back. So this is essentially my drop header, or the backside essentially of my box steps. They're going to be framed 12 inches on center because I'm using grade 3 cedar. So I decided a foot reveal each way in is going to start my stair. I got to account for an inch thick fascia that's going here, so that's going to determine what my essentially joists are going to be that are going to come in like this. So my overall rise is 16 and a half. Divide that by 2 is 8.25, which is the max rise in our local code here. So taller than I like. 7.75 is kind of the standard. So now that I got that, I'll rip my 2x8s to 7.25. I'll kind of show you when you're building box stairs. You can see I marked at 1 inch. There's my fascia. So that's gonna start my tread once I add that on to my exterior joist. So you can see 1 inch for fascia. I'm coming out. There's my fascia for the bottom of my box stairs. This joist here that's gonna run. And then I'm gonna have 1 inch overhang. So that's gonna be the end of my deck board. So from this edge of this joist or beam, whatever you wanna call it, the back of my box stairs, all the way to here is the length of my box joist, stair box joist, I guess you could call it. So I'm gonna pull layout 12 inches on center. I'm gonna stack my framing to match the joist of the deck. These box stairs will have a post with a Simpson post base in the corners to really secure it. Also, you can see it's gonna tie into my 6x6s and it's gonna be really secure. So I'm gonna rip down my 2x8s to 7.25 and cut all my stair joist at 10.5. Other considerations would be, like yesterday I actually dropped the front of my deck. Originally I framed it level, but my rise was going to be greater than 8.25. Decks can be sloped, especially exposed decks, 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch per foot. So me, I'm at 4 foot here. So there's 1 inch that I dropped it. That also helps get water away from the house. In this scenario, I wouldn't have to put any slope on this deck since it's covered and I'm gapping my deck boards, but the way it just worked out, because I'm working with this landing here, the homeowner wanted to have at least 14 to 16 inches, so I can only have 1 stair tread. So that's just kind of messing with things around. I didn't want to suck the deck in too close to the house. But so I'll get this put together in time lapse, building box stairs. Hey, what's up YouTube? Back on the Cedar deck today. I'm setting my post right now before I do my picture frame blocking, and I moored this out for my joist hangers. That way I can get up right close in that corner. So I'm using a post level. I'm going to get it right in the corner, clamp it. Okay, so I got it clamped up. I'm going to set my bottom one level, and then I'm going to have to use some shims. I'm using 6-inch ledger locks. Now I'm going to utilize a shim because I'm plumb this way, but the top's got to go back. So I'm going to use my right angle so I can drop in that joist. So I was putting pressure with my shoulder. Now it's perfectly set. I'm going to do another one up front, up top there, and I'll cut my shim off. So there, it's right on the money. Now what I'm going to do is come in here and lay another joist right here, and that way I can tie it all together and really lock it down. Plus with the picture framing joist that are laid out, it'll make it really stiff and solid. So you can see back here, I wasn't thinking I'd pull this off and notch it out to accept my 4x4. So now what I'm going to do is mortise the edge of that 4x4 for that joist, that concealed joist hanger. So I'm setting my post bases, or setting my post, like on this here, I ran a 6-footer down, blocked it out, and ran legs all the way to get it nice and solid. Same here, I ran it to the joist. This post I ran down through my box step so I could leg in there. Now I'm setting my post for my handrail coming down my stair, my single step. What I'm doing is I'm going to set a Simpson bracket, a masonry bracket, down in this corner. I'm going to put a Tapcon in there, and then I'll have to pull this block out to mortise out for my fasteners so I can get it right up beside it. So I'll take my router and route out that. But that way my post can sit in there, and then I can leg my whole box assembly, my box stairs, into this post. The box stairs legged into essentially a drop header that's sitting flush with my footing, or not my footing, my post and beam connection. I only mortise this 1.5 inches, so essentially that kind of acts like a splice block behind here. So I have 3 6x6 posts where I'm tying in my drop header, and then this is my box stair. So one way to really get this sturdy is to do your post inside the assembly, and it also is going to look nice. You could also like set it out here and screw in depending on what you want to do. It's just kind of nice when you can hide these galvanized brackets because they're kind of unsightly. They do make Osco building products. I've used those before. but those are like 30 bucks a piece, so they add up and they're pretty pricey. They do look really nice and work good though. So basically I'm setting this post, that post, and I need a post back in that corner, one going down stair there. One thing when you're laying out your post, so like here, that's why I stacked my joist right on. So basically I'm setting my post flush here, I scribed the line, I'm just making sure they're in line. Also, you want some overhang from like here. I'll have this post, I have an inch fascia and then an inch overhang of my deck board, so that'll look nice. Again here, this post is running all the way down, all the way up. I had to put a block on the post to fur it out to get to the back of my stair, and then I put in blocking behind. Also I got to block this out on 12-inch centers for my picture framing. Plumbing it up before I put my post space screws in. Set one screw in the bottom. And I'll put a shim. So once again, I'm using my right angle. Comes in super handy.